Hey there, I'm Maureen, and today's tutorial is about how to make this beautiful crochet ribbed skirt. It is free to measure, so any size can make it, and it can be worn by any size as it's really stretchy, and yeah, it can accommodate any kind and shape of body that you have. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and also like this video. It will boost my channel a lot. This is how it looks like on the body. So let's jump in the tutorial right away. So I used Winter King. This is for ply. It is first color anti-shrink. You can see I actually used 3 balls, 100% acrylic. Yep, and you also need a tape measure and then a 4mm hook, but you could also use a stitch marker if you like. So this is what we are going to make. We are going to make it this long, and then we shall go on building. It's worked from side to side and not from top to bottom, like that. This side looks like. So this is what we are going to make first. This is the top part, the waist part, and then you also have the downer part, which is the body part. You can see at the top it comes and it decreases. We have the top and the bottom. So first you're going to make a slip stitch, and then after you're going to make a chain of 72, which is approximately 17 inches. So if you want your skirt a little bit longer, please don't hesitate to make more chains. I wanted mine like a mini skirt, so I made a chain of 72, which was equivalent to 17 inches. So make a chain of 72. As you can see, when I measure mine, it is 16, but remember it can stretch up to 17 or even 18. It depends on how tight you crochet. So this is 17 inches. So after making that, you're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and you're going to make 10 single crochets, which is about 2 inches, and this is for the waist part, the waist lining. I made 10 single crochets into, I was just inserting 1 single crochet into each and every stitch. So continue inserting until when you come up with 10 single crochets in each and every stitch. Sorry, 1 single crochet in each and every stitch, which totals up to 10 single crochets. So that is approximately 2 inches, but if you want your waistline like to be a little bit bigger, you can add on the inches with more single crochets. So I'm going to single crochet. I'm making the top part of the skirt, I should say, the waist part of the skirt. I single crochet on the waist part of the skirt. As you can see, I left 1 stitch before, so count, and if it makes up to 10, which is 2 inches, it's 2, but remember it can stretch, but yep, it's 2 inches. So after that, you can insert your stitch marker right here into the 10th single crochet, or you could simply spot it. Like, I didn't really use a stitch marker for my project, but it's important if you want to. So after that, into the 11th stitch, I'm going to insert a half double crochet. Into the 11th stitch, I'm going to insert a half double crochet, and then I'll insert a half double crochet throughout all the chains up to the end of row 1. So insert half double crochets up to the end of the chain. So coming to the end of row 1, I'm still inserting half double crochets. See, I'm remaining with 2 stitches. Insert your half double crochet, and then the last half double crochet. Sorry about that. So the half double crochet, then I'm going to chain 2. Remember, when I was turning this side, I left a chain of 1, and now on the lower part of the skirt, I'm going to chain 2 before turning. this is really important. I'm going to make a chain of 2, then turn my work. Now I'm going on to row 2. So for row 2, I'm going to leave those 2 chained stitches untouched, and then I'll go into that 3rd stitch from the hook with a half double crochet. The 2 chains you make are not really important. You have are really important, you just leave them out. So I'll continue. For row 2, I begin half double crocheting into the back loop only of each and every stitch. So half double crochet back loop only up to the point where we placed our stitch marker. Continue half double crocheting back loop only up to the point where we placed our stitch marker. Simply half double crochet up to this point. Half double crochet back loop up to that point where I placed the stitch marker. So we are coming to that point. I'm going to place my last half double crochet back loop. So now you can pull out your stitch marker, that's if you placed one, but I didn't really use any because I could easily spot the difference. So here you're going to insert 1 single crochet back loop only. Now after that you can insert your stitch marker into that same spot, but I simply counted mine. So continue inserting 1 single crochet into each and every stitch. So they must total up to 10 single crochets back loop only. So do that up to the end. Coming to the end, still insert your single crochet back loop only, and then you're going to make a chain of, remember when you are turning this side we chain 2. Now when you're turning this side, the top part of the skirt, you have to chain 1, then turn. Now we are going on to row 3. Continue inserting 1 single crochet back loop only into each and every stitch. And you must come up with 10, there must be 10 single crochets back loop only. So if you can't really figure it out that easy, you need to be placing your stitch marker into that 10th single crochet. So continue inserting your single crochets back loop only. Remember, this is the top part or the waist part of the skirt. For that part you need to chain 1 when you're turning, and when you're on the lower part of the skirt you need to chain 2 before turning. You can count. Yep, and I place my last single crochet back loop only. If you don't mind, you can continue placing your stitch marker right there. So after that I'm going to continue placing half double crochets into each and every stitch, and the half double crochets have to be back loop only. Remember, we are making a ribbed crochet skirt and not just a plain crochet skirt. So it is the placing of the stitches into the back loops only that makes it ribbed. Please don't forget that. So continue placing half double crochets back loop only up to the end of row 3 right here. Coming to the end of row 3, continue placing your half double crochets back loop only. Here I am placing my last half double crochet. Remember, this is the body part, so you chain 1 and 2, then turn your work. So this is the only difference. You need to chain 2 when you're at the back, then go into the 3rd chain from the hook and insert your half double crochet back loop. And then when you're on the top part of the skirt, that's the waistline, you need to chain 1 when you're turning onto another row. That's the only difference. And also don't forget to crochet in the back loops only. And you can also be placing the stitch markers, or you can easily count like I was doing. So this part you should be placing single crochets, back loop only, and then when you reach this side, chain 1, then turn your work. And when you're onto the body part, chain 2, then turn your work. So you can see I already made the body part of my skirt. It is 17 inches long. It's 17 inches long. This is the top part. You can see it's a little bit compressed, and then the lower part is a little bit loose. So you can continue and make this. If you're wider in the hips, remember the measurements based on the hips. So measure your hips and make a skirt that is that big. So for myself, in the waist, I made up to 20 inches, but remember this stitch can really stretch because it's ribbed, like a lot of body is in between those ribs. So this is 20 inches, but trust me when I say that it can stretch up to 30 inches. So you need to make something that is a little bit smaller. And then on the body part, by hand it stretched up to that, but on the body it really can stretch up to 30. And then the body part, which you should really focus on, because you have to make sure that the skirt goes, it like fits around your hips, so you can measure around your hips. For the body part, I came up with 31 inches unstretched, 31 inches unstretched, which can go up to around, it can actually go up to around 45 or 48 inches. So you need to make something that is a little bit smaller than your actual measurements, because this skirt is going to stretch. You can see that's 15, and then when I turn, it goes up to 31 inches, but it can really stretch. So you have to make sure that you make something that is a little bit smaller for your body. It can go up to 36 or 37 by hand, but on the body it goes far more than that. So I'm going to change to a 3.5mm hook, and I'm going to put this work together. So remember, when you're stitching your work together, you have to make sure that the wrong side of the skirt is facing you and not the right side of the skirt. Like what you want people to see when you wear the skirt, you have to make sure that that part is inside, and then the part you don't want people to see, it should be the one facing you when you're putting your work together. So for this, I'm going to use the single crochet method, but some people use the darning needle or any method which is really simple for you. So I'm simply going to put my work together using a single crochet method. I'm going to repeat this pattern up to the top part of the skirt. Just repeat the same thing, just make sure that it's in line, and yeah, just go through the stitches with a single crochet. Then you can make a chain of 1, and then I'm going to cut my yarn. I'm going to cut my yarn here. Then you can pull out the loop, and like that your skirt is done. Yep, it's really that simple. Now you can turn your work. See, the stitching is really seamless and just complements and completes. That's how we stitched. You see, it cannot be noticed even. It can hardly be noticed. So this is what you have. The remaining part is to weave in your ends and then cut off the excess yarn. So yep, if you don't know how to do that, please watch my previous videos. I've been doing that in each and every video. So this is how it looks like. It can stretch, really stretch. See, yep, just weave in the yarn, the ends, and then you can cut off the excess yarn. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. This will help my channel grow, and then you can also subscribe to my channel because my channel is really young and I don't have that much subscribers yet. You can also check me out on Instagram at Crochets, and you can also check out my page for more crochet videos, tutorials actually. So all I can say is that really thank you for watching. This is what the skirt looks like, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And yeah, this is my channel, make sure you follow me. So thank you for watching really, and a happy crocheting.